So today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to begin air rolling properly. And to do this, we're going to start from the very first step. Now that's going to be going to settings, then controls. You're going to go down to air roll left and right, and choose which button you want to assign to which one. Now, a lot of people leave out one. They leave out air roll right, for example, and they only focus on air roll left. And I do agree that that's a good first step, but I think it's also helpful to assign the other air roll and practice it a little as you go so that your car isn't completely useless if you were to press the other button. Because in my opinion, it's good to know what every button can do to your car and at least have some control over it. That is how you'll be the most successful at every single rank. Now, I personally like assigning air roll left to square. Now, this is easy to reach because after I jump, I can immediately move my thumb a tiny bit forward and cover the air roll button. If I were to have it on triangle or Y, I have to move it all the way up across the controller. Now that that's done, we're going to go into a training pack. So, go to training, then custom. Then in the bottom left-hand corner, you see where enter code is. We're going to enter this code here. All right, let's enter the map. And the first thing you're going to do is fly straight up out of the arena. We're going to get out into the clear skies here over the buildings so that you don't get too close to the arena itself and get pulled back in, which can happen. Now, once you're out over nothingness here, there's a lot of room for error. If you miscontrol your car for a second, your job will be to gain control as quickly as possible and remain in flight. But luckily, we're not limited by the bounds of the arena, and so, you can fall for a while and gain your balance, and then it also helps just getting your control and getting your car back to center. So, the first step is going to be understanding how your car moves when you're facing away from the camera. Now, tipping forward on my joystick tips the car forward and backwards. This is just me pulling forward and backwards. Left is left, right is right. Now, here's the hard part. You also want to know what happens when you're facing your wheels towards the camera. Now, pulling down on the joystick moves my car back. This is all inversed. If I move left on the joystick, it moves right. And you're going to hate this. However, this is a good first step, is flying inverse like this. You can watch my little YouTube short about it. And just knowing how to control your car inverse before you try spinning. A lot of people like to skip this step and just go straight to spinning because it's the most fun part. However, having a healthy foundation of knowing the inverses is where you'll be very successful at rotating in the air. Now, once you're ready to move on to step 2, you will start spinning by holding rotate. Oh, I bumped into an invisible wall. All right, let me go back over here. You will hold the rotate button. In my opinion, that will be air roll left, and your car will start spinning. Here you'll want to feather your boost so that you stay in the same spot, and each time, watch carefully, and you can even say this out loud, each time you see the wheels of your car facing away, so for me, it'll be the shiny part of my car is facing me, you're going to do a small input to adjust it. So right when my car's wheels are facing away, I just push forward. It's very small movements, or let's say I'm pulling back. Now, each time my car is the normal direction and my wheels are facing away, I'm pushing forward or pulling back. So it's easy. It takes timing, and it'll be very difficult at first. But the best way to do it is just to talk out loud. So like I like to say, forward, 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 back, 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 and just get that timing down on how to adjust whenever one direction is facing you. Now, that works for when you're flying around a training pack. However, in-game, and with a tiny arena, you're going to have to adjust both when the car is facing away from you and when the wheels are facing towards you. So that becomes the hard part, is because now it's forward and then your wheels are facing you. So what do you do whenever the wheels are facing you? So let's say I want to fly this direction while spinning, and so I'm going to only put inputs for when my wheels are facing me now. So I'm going to say forward, but I'm going to have to pull back on the joystick. Forward, 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 back, back, back. And you just keep repeating those kind of things. You can find a word that you like, something that makes you less confused. So right now, I'm only doing them as the purple part of my car is facing me. I'm just adjusting my car little by little. And now I'm going to do it while the wheels are facing me. And you will have to do this quite a bit. But it is quite fun. Because, like, let's try to get over to that, the big building right here. Only doing adjustments while my wheels are facing me. So it's all inverse here. Now, once I reach it, I'm going to add both together. And this is the final step, and also the hardest part. So let me fly back towards the arena while doing an input for each forward. So each time the wheels are facing me like this, and each time the hood is facing me. So I'm going to be doing an input every second, maybe less than that even, every half second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm just pressing right each time I see the face of the car. Now, so this is the hard part, is that if you want to go a certain direction, pressing right on the joystick will, let's say I press right, it tilts me this direction. Now, when I press right again, it tilts me the opposite way. So if I want to go to the right, I have to tilt this way. I have to tilt right as my wheels are facing me, and tilt left as my hood is facing me. And so it becomes this confusing fight between the joysticks and the car. And so it takes a lot of practice, but to begin, you just break it down with each side. Now, I know you guys can do this step because it's not actually hard, it just takes practice, and it takes flying around these maps for quite a while, like multiple hours. But once you're done there, once you feel like you kind of understand how air rolling works, that is when we can leave training here and we can go into free play and try doing this between the backboards. Now, one thing is, I'm also not using any Steam maps so that players from console or PC can learn how to air roll and be successful, because one of the packs I learned with was on PC and I had to make my own way of doing it on console. So I'm trying to make a training routine that works for all of you. Now, the reason for being on this map is because it gives us a goal. So we're not just flying around testing different air rolls now. Now we're trying to get to that backboard. So if you jump off, start by only controlling it on the hood side. So this is normal. You're gonna have to turn off ball cam halfway through because it'll be pulled to the ball as you pass it. So start with ball cam on. Once you're halfway across the field, it's gonna be a little tough to quickly move your hand, move your thumb, and turn off ball cam as you continue to air roll. So your car will stop air rolling for a second, that pattern will break, and you'll have to resume the pattern of tapping the stick only as the shiny part of the car is facing you. So let me do it one more time. Break that. Okay, restart the pattern. And I've arrived. Now, let me do it with only the wheels facing me. Oops, I'm too good. I did adjustment when the hood was as well. Okay, one more time. As you can see, it's not enough to really get there well, is it? And you can see that my muscle memory is kind of making me do some inputs on the opposite side as well. You can see that in the controller on the bottom corner. Now, once you've gotten better at those, you don't have to get perfect. You start jumping off and trying to do both. So let me just, whenever I see a face, I'm going to try to do an input. And now I've arrived. So do that a couple times. By a couple, I mean a couple hundred. And now you're ready for the next challenge. The next challenge is leaving the skull diagonally, and you're gonna fly this path, but let me just drive it first. You're gonna go all the way around here, try to fly somewhere over this boost, and try to come in where you left. And then you'll do it again. And you'll also wanna reverse the order, because this is only working the air roll on one side like this, so you'll wanna also air roll like this. And so it's this is going to be more difficult than going in a straight line. And so if you already struggled with doing a straight line, I think it's good to try this, but also make sure you do everything in order, and it'll be a little bit boring, but you will be able to air roll very cleanly, just like me afterwards. Now, let's just do this once or twice just to show you what I mean. You're going to air roll out here. Look at how fast my controller is moving. Now, I'm doing an input not just for every time I see the car, but multiple each time I see the car. For example, instead of just tapping, I'm tapping and then moving down, or tapping and moving like this. And so you're doing a lot of things, but you'll just slowly speed it up as you get better. Let me do that one more time. Just watch my controller input at the bottom as I do this curve, and you can try to end it nicely. Now, one of the last things to do is to take this into an actual training pack and try to air roll while hitting the ball. In this entire time, you don't want to have tried bringing air roll into ranked, because it just simply will not help. You are not good enough to have it do anything of benefit for you. And even for a while after you know how to air roll, it doesn't really help that much. It is something that just takes time, and within a few months, you'll be extremely good at air rolling, and you'll actually have to relearn not air rolling. That's something that happens around High Champion, is that players learn, oh wait, the most efficient way to reach the ball is actually not air rolling. And so they have to unlearn what they've learned. However, for now, you guys do have to learn this step to get to that point of knowing what's efficient and what's not. So we're going to go into this pack here, Kevpert Aerial Car Control. Now, you can start by air rolling whenever the hood of your car or the wheels of your car are facing you. However, before you can take this into games, make sure you can hit this ball into the goal while using both, like so. You're going to have to get a little high up, and then you can stop air rolling at the end to take your shot. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and that this tutorial gives you that car control that you've been wanting. Now, make sure to follow my Discord if you're looking for coaching, or just a community of like-minded individuals who are just set on improving and ranking up, as we have a lot of low-ranked players and a lot of high-ranked coaches there. Now, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.